A neurosurgeon making $500,000 a year just filed for bankruptcy. A software engineer at Google lost his entire retirement in one bad decision. And a Harvard MBA is living paycheck to paycheck despite earning more than 95% of Americans. What do all these people have in common? They're brilliant in their fields, but absolute disasters with money. Hi, I'm Grant, and today we're diving into the dark psychology behind why intelligence doesn't protect you from financial stupidity. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll realize you've probably made at least 3 of these mistakes yourself. But first, let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered why some of the smartest people are also the brokest? Drop a comment if you've seen this in your own life because the stats are shocking. Studies show that people with advanced degrees are actually more likely to make certain catastrophic money mistakes than high school dropouts. And I'm about to show you exactly why. Let's start with mistake number 1, the overconfidence trap. Picture this: you're a brilliant engineer. You can solve complex algorithms, design intricate systems, maybe even send rockets to space. So naturally, you think, how hard can investing be? This is exactly what happened to my friend Jake. MIT graduate, works at Tesla, absolute genius. He decided he didn't need a financial advisor because, and I quote, "I'm smarter than some guy who barely passed college." Jake put his entire 401k into individual tech stocks, not diversified funds, individual stocks. When the tech bubble burst, he lost 80% of his retirement savings in 6 months. Here's the thing: intelligence in one area doesn't automatically transfer to another. A brain surgeon might be incredible at removing tumors, but terrible at removing emotional bias from investment decisions. The overconfidence trap makes smart people think they can outsmart markets that have humbled Nobel Prize winners. Don't be Jake. Mistake number 2, analysis paralysis, or as I like to call it, the perfect plan prison. Smart people love to analyze. They research, they compare, they create spreadsheets with 47 different scenarios. But here's the brutal truth. While they're busy calculating the perfect moment to invest, inflation is eating their cash alive. I know a doctor who spent 3 years researching the optimal investment strategy. 3 years. During that time, the S&P 500 went up 35%. His money? Sitting in a savings account earning 0.01%. His need for the perfect plan cost him over $100,000 in missed gains. Here's what successful, wealthy people understand. Good enough beats perfect every single time. Because time the market always beats timing the market. The smartest financial move? Start with something simple like a broad market index fund, then optimize later. Don't let your intelligence become your enemy. This brings us to mistake 3, complexity addiction. Smart people have a dangerous bias. They assume complex solutions are better than simple ones. If it's not complicated, it can't be right? Wrong. I've seen engineers buy crypto derivatives they don't understand instead of just buying Bitcoin. I've watched lawyers invest in structured products with fees so high they'd make a loan shark blush instead of simple index funds. Here's a story that'll blow your mind. Warren Buffett, worth over $100 billion, made a bet with hedge fund managers. He said a simple S&P 500 index fund would outperform their complex strategies over 10 years. The result? The simple index fund crushed the hedge funds by over 60%. The most successful investors in history use embarrassingly simple strategies. But smart people can't accept this because simple doesn't feel smart enough. Your intelligence is actually working against you here. The best investment strategy should be so boring it puts you to sleep. Mistake 4, the emotional override. Here's something that might surprise you. Emotions affect smart people more than average people, not less. Why? Because smart people think they're above emotional decision-making. They believe their intelligence protects them from fear, greed, and panic. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. I watched a PhD in psychology panic sell all his stocks in March 2020 when the market crashed. This is a guy who literally studies human behavior for a living. But when his portfolio dropped 30%, all that knowledge went out the window. If he had just done nothing, literally nothing, he would have recovered all his losses and made money within a year. Smart people often make the worst emotional decisions because they don't think they're making emotional decisions. They rationalize their fear as strategic repositioning, and their greed as calculated risk-taking. The solution? Automate everything. Set up automatic investments so your emotions can't hijack your brain. Mistake 5. The income illusion. High earners have a dangerous blind spot. They confuse high income with wealth building. I know doctors making $400,000 a year who have less savings than teachers making $40,000. How is this possible? It's called lifestyle inflation, and smart people are especially vulnerable because they feel they deserve expensive things after working so hard for their education and career. They buy the luxury car, the expensive house, the designer everything, justifying it as investments or necessary for their image. But here's the math that'll wake you up. Someone making $50,000 who saves 20% has more wealth-building power than someone making $200,000 who saves 5%. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. And smart people are often terrible at keeping money because they're too busy spending it on things that make them feel smart. Mistake 6. The DIY disaster. Smart people hate paying for advice. Why should I pay someone when I can figure it out myself? This is like a financial advisor trying to perform their own surgery because they don't want to pay a doctor. I've seen brilliant people spend 40 hours researching tax strategies to save $500 when they could have paid a professional $300 to save them $3,000. The opportunity cost alone is insane. If you make $100 an hour and spend 40 hours on DIY financial planning, you just paid $4,000 to potentially mess up your finances. Smart people need to understand, expertise has value. Sometimes the smartest thing you can do is admit you don't know everything. And finally, mistake 7, the comparison trap. Smart people are competitive by nature. They compare test scores, job titles, salaries, and unfortunately, investment returns. This leads to financial FOMO, fear of missing out. My colleague made 50% on GameStop. Why am I stuck with boring index funds? Everyone's talking about this new crypto. I must be missing something. This is how smart people end up gambling their retirement on meme stocks and get-rich-quick schemes. Here's what they don't understand. The people bragging about their wins aren't telling you about their losses. For every person who made money on GameStop, 10 others lost their shirts. Comparison is the thief of wealth. Focus on your own financial journey, not everyone else's highlight reel. So what's the solution to all this? First, acknowledge that being smart doesn't make you immune to these mistakes. In fact, it might make you more vulnerable. Second, keep it simple. The best financial plan is one you'll actually follow, not the most complex one you can create. Third, automate everything possible. Remove your emotions and your overthinking from the equation. And fourth, get help when you need it. Even the smartest people in the world have advisors. Here's my challenge for you. Look at your own finances right now. Which of these 7 mistakes are you making? Drop a comment below with a number of the mistake that hit closest to home. And if this video opened your eyes, smash that like button and subscribe for more financial reality checks. Remember, intelligence is a superpower, but only when you know how to use it properly. I'm Grant, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll talk about the 3 simple steps that can fix all 7 of these mistakes. Until then, stay smart about your money, not just smart in general.